I am Prometheus, and you are just a god.
What's going on, you pistol round warriors? Today I have a few rounds that I want to go over, and they're all going to be pistol rounds. Pistol rounds I think are super important because they almost set the tempo of the game. They put pressure on certain teams to win certain rounds, such as like the bonus round is really big on round 3, or the buy up round is really big because if they lose that round, it can lead to multiple losses and sort of set like a bad tempo or like a bad vibe for the rest of the game because you're down big. And it's a really big mental type battle to get over. So I picked out a few pistol rounds that I thought were a little different. I think pistol rounds are also really fun because they allow you to pick up like different strategies that you don't really see that often. Like you'll see that Noble here is running a Cypher retake setup on C here, one's playing B, and then they're triple stacking A, which is something you don't see every round, which I think is kind of cool. But this round, we're going to focus on 100 Thieves and their pistol round strat, and I think that it's very interesting. So I'm going to play out the round, and you're going to notice that it's basically like a 3-2 split up mid. The Sova and Jet are trying to work up mid here. They throw an Omen Smoke at the entrance of B, and you're going to see that these three players are going to try and make a lot of presence like here on A, right? So Jet and Sova start working up towards mid. As soon as it gets closer to the smoke, throws a Jet Smoke onto the B link there, or A link I should say, and dashes through, getting ready to create a pinch here on A site. Now, where this goes wrong is that I think that the timing might have been a little off because at the beginning of a round, these three players get Astra sucked and Raze naded. They still manage to find a kill, but in order for this play to work, there needs to be a pinch and like more presence known from like both ends of the map. So you'll see that after they get Raze naded and sucked and everything, that Steel manages to find a kill, which is huge. But at this point, they need to keep going because as soon as already at A link, and if he gets isolated, then he's screwed. You know, his teammates are basically not with him to fight at all. So, but I mean, they still get on the site, which I don't think is the end of the world. And this still leaves Hiko in a really good spot to lurk up late for an easy lurker, like a lurk kill. Also, get the bomb down. Hiko gets caught late on his lurk. I think he could have been maybe a little more patient, waited for the retake to start, and then maybe peek out a little bit. But other than that, I think it's a really interesting strat. And these strats that I'm showing you guys could probably run with 4 stacks or even 3 stacks. Yeah, I think they could work. So yeah, try these out in your rank games, and I'm going to bring this over to the next pistol round. All right, and for our next pistol round, I'm taking us over to a match against Sentinels and Gen.G. Sentinels has a very interesting pistol round strat. So every round, you're going to see that they default this Viper wall, going up A short here, or I guess the middle of A site, kind of. And Dapper has a lineup that goes right in this area. So once this wall and the orb are both up, it's very hard for the opposing team to get any information coming out this way. And to start, they also throw a Raze Roomba out into Hookah just to make a little bit of A presence. So I thought that was really interesting. And then you see Yoru and Astra working their way towards showers, trying to gain some shower control. And then, as you can see, I think the observers pan over to it, but in case you didn't notice, after the Raze throws her Roomba, she follows back with her team, and as soon as she gets back, Sova starts his drone up A short. And because it's so hard to gather any information, that if you're standing out in the middle of the open here, trying to peek past these walls or past the orbs, you're gonna get screwed by this drone and plus this Raze. So the drone reaches all the way up into U-Haul and pushes past the smoke and literally clears U-Haul for Sick. And Sick was able to get into, he got U-Haul control basically for nothing. He's basically able to walk in there. Granted, yes, there's 2 people in showers, but had there been anybody been holding this U-Haul area, I think they would have had it. They would have gotten an easy kill and would have gotten that for free. So after the drone goes up, the Viper falls back to gain showers control with his teammates. Sick is fighting for U-Haul here, and then these 3 guys mow down Mikhail because he's by himself. I think he probably should have fallen back there and played with his teammate a bit more because if anybody is pushing showers there, he's kind of screwed. I don't think he's really holding off a 3-man push by himself, especially a Sova. But as the round plays out, the Sentinels play a pretty solid post plant. It's a 5v2 right now. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting strat with this wall and the orb, and then they drone up it. It's a good default and a good pistol round strat. So also, I don't know how like these VCT and whatever, these challengers and playoffs work. So if somebody can link me like a video of like how these brackets or anything work, it's just really confusing to me. So because I saw some of you commenting on that in the video last time about how it just wasn't a good match because of XYZ, but I still think these rounds are pretty interesting to go over because I think they're kind of cool strats. So, and plus you guys could probably pull these off if you get like a group of 3 or 4 of your friends. So I'm going to take us over to the next round now. All right, so for this next round, this isn't necessarily a pistol round. It's the round after pistol round. So Gen.G lost, so they're kind of at a disadvantage. The only thing they have are classics. but I'm still going to qualify this as a pistol round because I just think the strat is just super unorthodox and just super funny. And plus, I think everybody's pistol round strat is either running up A or running up B or work picks. I don't know. Icebox is kind of a... I don't like the map a whole lot. I don't think there's a whole lot of strategy behind it. But regardless, I think that this round in this strat is very funny. So as the round starts, Gen.G decides to throw smoke towards mid, throw their Sova arrow towards orange. And all 5 of them, they charge up tube like a bunch of apes. And here, I don't usually play sound for a lot of these clips, but I want you guys to hear this. And hopefully you can. If not, I'll figure it out here. So as they're running up,
there's definitely going to be some aggression down mid, and Dapper seems to immediately notice that. Dark cover, though, is going to prevent him from actually seeing just how much pressure is working its way down. The good news is Sick can have a very...
So I think that's really funny how all 5 of them decide just to charge up the tube like a bunch of apes, and they just start blasting the wall down like with their classics. They start crunching away at it, you know. And they manage to find Sick through the wall. Like this poor guy is trying to hold off a push of 5 just apes charging at him through one singular hallway past his, you know, his wall. And then they just funnel through. They start mowing people down. Dapper swings again into 2 people, gets traded off here, and essentially because of this strat, they have created a 1v1 favoring Gen.G. Tens is 1 HP. They both have equal amount of guns. And yeah, Gen.G ends up taking this round. So pretty cool strat, unorthodox. And yeah, when you're down, on eco, you sort of have to go for something unorthodox because you're never really gonna win like a long range aim duel on B or a long range aim duel on A or your traditional plays. They just don't work when you don't have the guns to do them. So doing something like this and doing something so strange it just catches the enemy off guard can win you rounds, and it does here for Gen.G. So all right, I'm gonna take us over to our last pistol round. I think you guys are gonna like this. All right, so for our final pistol round for this video, I want to take us to NUTURN versus ASG here. So on my channel, you notice that I cover a lot of NA scene stuff, but I want to start branching out to EU. I already do some EU, but like Korea and like some other countries and whatnot, because I think there's something valuable to learn from each different region. So for NUTURN's lineup, I think this is really interesting because you can't see because of my face camera, but they have a Sova up top, then Breach, and then the Jet, Raze, and Omen. And I think this team comp is just so unorthodox to what we're used to seeing, that it somehow just works. So I'm going to play out the round, and ASG decides to 4-stack towards B, which is okay. But I want to point out something, that if anybody's playing in this U-Haul area, you see that Breach stuns it, then he flashes it. There's no way you're getting that. There's no way you're holding that U-Haul space. Ever. It's Breach I just think is so underused and so like underrated that he sets up his team so well for easy kills. If anybody's holding that U-Haul area, they're screwed. You're not surviving that stun, you're not surviving that flash, especially when you have a Raze satching at you and a Jet dashing at you. And so you might think, oh, it's just a Breach stun. What's so cool about this strat? Well, look how far they decide to push their duelists in taking the site. They don't stop at all. They push all the way through CT and actually take up heaven control, and it makes this post plant just so awkward for their team. And it works. Like, they pushed so far deep into their spawn, they pushed the guy heaven and they took heaven control. No, now they have to, like, if ASG was playing coming through CT instead of coming on this huge flank, they now have to realize that somebody could be in heaven, somebody could be in this area. So they either have to use util to clear it out, or they have to take risky aim duels and hopefully they just win them. So I just thought it was a really cool strat, and I think the team comp is really interesting because I think Breach, especially on some maps like Bind, he can set up his teammates for easy kills, a ton of assists, and I think he's just underrated in general. I know people are complaining about the accuracy after you get stunned, which I think is a little dumb too. I think that you really shouldn't be that accurate when you're stunned, and his flashes are kind of easy to turn from. But the cool thing about Breach is that, like, he's just such a good assist man. He sets up your team for easy kills, and the stun you can't dodge. Like, off the rip, you'll see a couple defaults run where Breach will default instantly from A short. He'll be A short here, and he'll stun this way, and you just lose shower controls because you're stunned. You can't push into that, and by the time that you get here, the team's already pushed up into showers, and they have free showers control, and then it's just annoying. So yeah, Breach is a really underrated character in my book. So, well, hopefully you guys learned a couple things from this video. I know I did from watching these teams and their pistol round strats. I know I'm going to try a couple of these on our team. So especially the 100 Thieves one in Haven. I thought that was super cool. Yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you did, drop a like, comment, subscribe. I love all of you, and take care of yourselves, guys. Bye-bye.